Hi, what we're going to explain to you now this time for Jeet Kune Do players is what the real ranges of combat are, at least as taught by Bruce Lee. This can be checked in the method books as well, and even in Tower Jeet Kune Do. We'll probably leave a still clip up from the one of the method books where it's clearly explained. Now you'll hear teachers, and I'm not slagging these teachers off or anything like that, but they'll say this is Jeet Kune Do and it's not, and from the point of view of they're teaching it wrong. Okay, there isn't trapping range, boxing range, kicking range, grappling range and projectile weapon range, or whatever else flipping there is that people come out with. 4 or 5 ranges or anything like that. There are 3 ranges, 3, okay, as taught by Bruce Lee in Jeet Kune Do. So when you hear Jeet Kune Do concepts people, or Jeet Kune Do this or whatever, okay, or people paraphrasing Jeet Kune Do in reality martial arts or anything like that, and they're telling you they're at trapping range, at this, that and the other, they're either just totally wrong, we could say they're just totally wrong, or they're just misconstruing and confusing really what is relatively simple. So we've just got Helen here today to just help us a little bit, and we're just going to explain this relatively simple thing and hopefully clear it up if you don't know it already, just for the record. So basically, if Helen just adopts a Bajong stance for a moment, okay, at this point a lot of people will say, oh, you know, boom, a kick, I've landed a kick, I'm at kicking range. But of course when you land a kick and you're here, you can still punch or hit with your fingers, okay, or get hold of this hand or whatever. So is this kicking range or is this boxing range? Okay, what range am I at? Okay, it's confusing, you see, because if you're close to someone, if Helen comes forward here, if you're close to someone here, oh, you're at grappling range. But I can still strike, I can still elbow, and I can still stamp, and I can knee, okay, I can trip and throw. So what range am I at? I can obviously press nerves and do joint manipulation locks and so on and so forth. Is this grappling range or is it striking range? What range is it? See, it's confusing when if we have an abridgment here and say Helen just does a pack sow on me or something, and this sort of thing's happening. Oh, trapping range, but she's punching me. You know, so what silliness is that? People say, oh, you're at trapping range, Jim, you're at trapping range, but you're punching somebody. The whole point is to immobilise the punch, isn't it, to get the freaking trap. So this is just ridiculous. So we'll just clear this up and state what the 3 ranges are, very simply. Myself and Helen will face off. She'll go back a little bit. She cannot kick me with the simple principle in Jeet Kune Do, longest range weapon to the nearest target. From there, I'm confident from there, if she just does a pendulum kick, and she's pretty confident herself, she's going to miss, because she's outside of the rim of the fighting measure, which refers to contact. Okay, she cannot contact me there now without moving towards me, unless I move towards her, of course. But if she's going to attack, she needs to move forwards, and the quickest way for her to do that with a longest range weapon to the nearest target, my knee, longest range weapon being her lead foot, is to elongate first. So if she does like a stutter step kick, bang, okay, okay, does it again, 1, 2, 3. It takes her now 3 beats to hit me, which probably means in real combat she'd need a fake to disguise that, okay, because she's travelling quite a distance, okay. So for instance, if I do the technique and Helen just stands still for a moment, for me to get from here to hit her there, I'm probably going to get picked up on the first beat. If Helen does the full thing here, I'm going to stop her if I'm pretty good on the first beat. So I'm going to break in the rhythm at 2.5. So on a 2.5 beat as she comes, I'm going to stop her, okay. If she does a pendulum step, I can obstruct, you see, by getting my foot up. Does a pendulum step, I obstruct, 1.5 beat, because in the pendulum step there's 2 beats, the back foot to the front foot, hit. 1, 2. Okay? But we know there's 3 when we have to elongate from the outside fighting measure. So, from here, okay, the outside, I'm on the outside fighting measure. If I just demonstrate for a moment, I need to elongate to make that contact to that nearest target, okay? Whether it be I'm aiming at her hand, okay, because I think that's viable for whatever reason, not a great hit, but it might be a good hit if she's holding a weapon. And on this next one, she's going to come in now and just do the rim of the fighting measure. So here now we're just on the rim of the fighting measure, and the gap is just a couple of feet or so. She knows she can hit there with the 1, 2, 4. Okay, so this is the second range on the rim of the fighting measure. Okay, same thing for me, I'm at that range, but I could be a little bit further back because hey, I'm taller, so it's slightly longer within my own anatomical restrictions. Helen's a bit shorter, of course, and a little bit lighter, and obviously she'd need to get closer to me. Okay, so after she's done the pendulum kick, if she lands in front of me after the kick and throws something up or whatever, we're at close quarters. It's as simple as that. We're not boxing range, we're not trapping range, and that's why everything can happen here. We can headbutt, we can hair pull, gouge, bite. Everything can happen here, whether there's a trap there or some sort of thing goes on there, whether the leg is picked up and there's a grappling move done, whether a throw is instigated. It doesn't matter. You're at close quarters, you're on the inside of the fighting measure. So we've got outside the rim of the fighting measure, on the rim of the fighting measure, inside the fighting measure, sometimes called close quarter fighting. Okay, so we'll just recap that one more time. I'll just show that if Helen just stands still, if she bags a little bit. I'm closing in now, needing an extra step. We might talk about this on another video, that I need to disguise that maybe with some little fake or feint with my hand before I go, so it distracts her from seeing me actually having to take that elongated step before I make the hit. Shot could go to the body. Okay, I might be maybe going at the hand, I might even be going at the head when I take that elongation. It doesn't really matter that much, it's what I see is viable in the fight. Okay, and then again, obviously, I know I'm close enough. We say we've been moving around a little bit, we're out of range because we can kick. Helen takes a half step in, and I go, oh, that's nice. Just walk nicely onto the rim. So I make the kick. So you can see here, those are the 3 ranges. Whether I'm really in close, if we're really in close, Helen kicks and comes in, both, and we end up in this position, and she's done this to me, and she goes on and starts ripping my head off or something, biting my ears off. That's just all close quarters. Okay, so we're, you know, this range is nothing. She kicks, both. This range is the close range. I might decide I can take her out on that and do a move or whatever, get an arm lock, whatever the thing is. That's academic, doesn't matter. What matters is the range is designated by distance, not the tool being used. Otherwise, this is kicking range, but is it? Okay? So hopefully that's going to help you, and that will clear out a few things, and read the little bit still photo we'll put on at the end from the Bruce Lee's Fighting Method book, Skilling Technique. And I just want to thank Helen for her help today. Hope that helps you out with your training.
Okay, as said earlier in the clip, we're just bringing your attention now to page 13 of volume 3 of Bruce Lee's Fighting Method, Skilling Technique. And again, you can just see the picture here of Danny Nosanto facing off with Ted Wong. And if we just look below that picture, we see the start of a paragraph here, and I want you to look at this, and I'll quote here: in Jeet Kune Do, there are 3 different distances in fighting. Generally, the longest range is employed when you don't know your opponent's prowess or his intention, as in photos 1. Now basically he's saying there, obviously at the longest range you need to take that tentative extra step to close in. You may feel out your opponent with that, and then the book will go on to explain the medium range or the rim of the fighting measure, as we've done on the clip, and on to close quarters. And this is just to help verify what we're saying on this clip. So don't be fooled by what certain Jeet Kune Do or supposed Jeet Kune Do instructors are saying. There are 3 ranges in Jeet Kune Do, and there are 3 ranges in combat. The rest is confusing or bullshit. Okay.